So now let's look at some of the warning signs. And like I said, we can identify the warning signs in a form of what? Red triangular shape. So this is the way that we can identify the warning signs. If this red triangular shape change to blue triangular shape, then it becomes what? Mandatory. But we're not going to look at the mandatory sign now. We are going to concentrate on the warning sign. Like I said earlier on, warning sign, they pre-informs us the dangers ahead of us. And when you are a road user and they warn you that there is a danger ahead, what do you think you should do? You should start slowing down and start thinking of what to do to save lives and property. So with this, we call it right bend or bend right ahead, bend left ahead, sharp reverse curve to the right ahead, sharp reverse curve to the left ahead, road narrow ahead, road narrow to the left ahead, road narrow to the right ahead, roundabout ahead, dual carriageway begin ahead, end of dual carriageway road ahead, steep hill downwards ahead, steep hill upwards ahead, slippery road ahead, loose gravel ahead, riverbank or quayside ahead, rough road or uneven road ahead, falling rocks ahead, traffic signal light ahead, pedestrian crossing ahead, children crossing ahead, roadworks ahead, cycle crossing ahead, horses crossing ahead or token crossing ahead. We talk of animal crossing ahead, blind people crossing ahead, person with disability on a wheelchair crossing ahead, crosswind ahead, low flying aircraft ahead. Now, these are some few of the warning signs. So I'll now take my time to explain them one after the other for you. Remember, anytime you see the red triangular shape, it is telling you that there is a danger ahead. Whether you are clear with the shape in the red triangular shape or not, you should start what? Reducing your speed. So bend right ahead means that the road ahead of you is bend. So you should reduce your speed in order to initiate the bend, because we don't use speed to initiate a curve or a bend. The same thing applies to bend left ahead. That means the road ahead of you is bent to the left. So there is a need for you to what? Reduce your speed before you get there. Then with a sharp reverse curve to the right and sharp reverse curve to the left, these types of road signs can be found in mountainous zones. And in the mountainous zones, maybe the contractor construct the roads to some level he did not know what to do with the mountains, or we want to reserve the mountains for tourist attraction. So you see that the contractor will construct the road, goes back again to some level, then he will turn again. And that way, that is what we call the sharp reverse curve to the right. And with the sharp reverse curve to the right, you need to reduce your speed in order to initiate the curve. You need more reduction of speed on sharp reverse curve than bend right and sharp curves. So in here, if you don't reduce more of the speed, you will not be able to initiate the curve, because you may not be able to see the incoming vehicles. The same thing applies to the sharp reverse curve to the left. That means that the road was going straight, all of a sudden it curves as if it is going back. And because of this mountain or because of this tourist attraction object, we decided to divert the road as if it is going back in order to get another way. Sharp reverse curve to the left, to the right doesn't mean that when you get to that point, you have to reverse and go back. No, that is not what it means. It always tells you that reduce your speed in order to initiate the curve. It goes, the road bit as if it is going backwards, and after that, it returns again to pick up the straight way. Then road narrow on both directions. The road was bigger from the beginning, all of a sudden it starts to become what? Small. It is telling you that you should reduce your what? Your speed in order to share the road with others. Here, road narrow to the left and road narrow to the right. The road was bigger from the beginning. Now it becomes smaller to the left side. So reduce your speed in order to manage that narrow road. Road narrow to the right means that the road was bigger from the beginning. Now it becomes narrow or small to the right hand side. So you need to reduce your speed in order to share the road with others. Now we talk of roundabout ahead. When they are warning us that there is a roundabout ahead, they are telling us that the road is not straight, there is a circle around that particular area, which join 4 intersections or 3 intersections. So for that matter, when you are about to join the roundabout, in Ghana, we give way to vehicle on our left at the roundabout. And then the vehicle on our right also give way to us. And when we don't use speed to initiate the roundabout because of what we call sharp deviation of route. With the sharp deviations of route, when you want to use speed and initiate the roundabout, the vehicle will deviate into the circle or to deviate into another route. So for that matter, at the roundabout, we don't use speed to initiate the roundabout. Another way that we also say, when you enter the roundabout, when you are initiating the roundabout, you reduce your speed. And when you are about to exit, then you have to show your trafficator before you exit. And when you are about to exit, we have maybe exit 1, exit 2, exit 3, and you intend of exiting in exit 3, you are not supposed to show your trafficator in exit 1 and exit 2 until you bypass exit 1 and exit 2 before you can what? Show your trafficator. So that is how it is. In UK, they give way to vehicle on their right, and on their left, they give way to them. But we in Ghana, we give way to vehicle on our left when we are about to join the roundabout, and vehicle on our right give way to us. And when we start initiating the roundabout, we are not supposed to use speed to initiate the roundabout because of what we call sharp deviation of route in the roundabout. Now, dual carriageway begins ahead. With the dual carriageway begins ahead, it tells us that the road was a single carriageway route or two-way traffic route. Now it becomes what? A double what? Road. So when you are about joining, you have to observe and then you choose the particular lane that you can discipline yourself on that lane to your destination. If you can and the need arises for you to change from one lane to another, then you must watch your side and side mirrors, and if it's safe, you show your trafficator and you do your changing of lanes in the dual carriageway road. In the dual carriageway road ahead, which the sign sometimes warn us that the road that you are coming, there is a double road ahead of you, so you should slow down and then observe which direction you're supposed to go and which lane you're supposed to pick, either the inner lane or the outer lane or the center lane. If the road, that dual carriageway road, have it with multiple lanes. Then in the dual carriageway road, we don't have something we call overtaking in the dual carriageway road. We don't have something we call overtaking in the dual carriageway road. In the dual carriageway road, we only have what? Change of what? Lanes. Where you can get your overtaking and undertaking and 3 points turning is in your two-way traffic road. But in the dual carriageway road, we only have what? Change of lane and then U-turn. Now, end of dual carriageway road, they are warning us that the road that we were using coming, which is a double road, with a center island or pavement separating the other road from the other, then it is now telling us that we should be very careful. The road is now becoming what? Two-way traffic road. It is now becoming a single carriageway road. So we should reduce your speed in order to join them. That is what we mean by the end of dual carriageway road. End of dual carriageway road means that the double road that we were using coming, it has come to an end. Steep hill downwards and steep hill upwards. In the steep hill downwards means that we are descending from the hilly. And when we are descending from a hill, the vehicle is likely to gather its own speed. And when the vehicle is likely to gather its own speed in the steep hill downwards or on the steep hill downwards, then what do? We need to reduce the speed so that we can have control over the vehicle. With the steep hill upwards, that means that we are climbing a hill. And if you are using a manual car, the appropriate gear for you to use to climb the hill is either gear 1 or gear 2 or gear 3, depending upon the height of the hill. Let's assume that you are climbing Coal Mountain. With this type of hill, you need only gear 1 to climb the hill. Somebody may ask, say, what of we those using the automatic cars? Yes, the manufacturer designed the automatic car and also we have the drive 2, and then the L. Some people may have drive and then S and then B. Good. One of the drive 2 is representing for what? Climbing of the hills. And then the L, which is the lower gears, for motorway. So if I'm using automatic car and I'm about to climb the Coal Mountain, then the best thing for me to do is to set my drive 2 to the basic gear, which can be the gear 1 and gear 2 or 3, which is on it. That is the best gear for you to use to climb the hill. If not, when you leave it at a D and you keep on accelerating, you get to the hill top there, then the vehicle will start descending by itself. Now let's come to the slippery road. With a slippery road tells us that the road is slippery, it is wet. And when you see these signs on the side and side of the road, whether dry season or rain season, my dear brother and sister, you should reduce your speed in order to avoid skidding of the vehicle. Because you may not know your colleague vehicle will be moving and the leakage, water, particles or liquid substances will be dropping with your top speed can cause slipping or skidding of your vehicle. So on the steep hill on the slippery road, it doesn't matter whether it is a dry season or rain season, you need to reduce your speed. Loose gravel means that on that surface of the road, it is not smooth as you see. There are some particles of gravels or stones which you are not supposed to use speed. When you use speed, the vehicle will be drifting or skidding or slippery in that order. Then we talk of riverbank or quayside. It is warning us that the road that we are using coming, it is closer to a river bank, or it is closer to a lagoon, or it is closer to a sea. So reduce your speed in order to avoid the vehicle having an accident on the river bank.